So, I'm not a Buddhist, but the idea of a Vajra world where we're free from this prison of I and me, and essentially, you know, our egos, it's something that's extremely intriguing to me, and I've become more aware of it throughout my Buddhism class. Basically, a Vajra being is that which we're trying to uncover. There's a Buddha nature that's within us, and it's all there. It's present, but we just have to uncover it. And my teacher for Buddhism he told us that it's like brainwashing, not in the literal sense, where that we normally think of, where your mind gets messed up, but it's more of you're clearing your brain, you're washing it from all these cloudy ideas that are stopping you from seeing what's actually there, from seeing the truth. And this comes when we have no conception of who we actually are, who we could be. Essentially, we have no thoughts at this time. And then being aware of our existence leads us to enlightenment, along with, having these gurus along to help you in a community that supports you. And Vajra is basically the ability to see the world for what it truly is. And to do that, you have to have a journey. And these journeys are customized to you, which I find so cool about Buddhism. And a definition in this book that we read is for the word a spiritual life, which is a journey of maturation, which is, I think that's a really cool way to put it, because as you're trying to reach enlightenment and get this goal that you're striving for, it's kind of cool to think about it in a way that you're slowly traveling along this path that will lead you to your goal. And along the way, you're understanding more subtly what you have to do in order to reach enlightenment. And, it's more subtle, but as you keep going, it's more profound. It means something more each time. And, along with this, there are different stages that you have to go through. And these are all relevant to where you are in your journey. So it's different for everybody. And what has to happen to you in order to reach enlightenment doesn't necessarily have to be the same for somebody else. Which, like I said before, these paths are customized, which I think is really beautiful. It's a personal experience. And it's not the easiest path for you. It doesn't have to be, because then the easiest path for you might not be the best one to get to enlightenment and realization. It could be the hardest one, but that's what you have to do in order to become awakened. And this path, it can change depending on your circumstances. We read about this person named Varupa, and he lived in the monasteries, and in secret he would practice Vajrayana Buddhism. And eventually he got found out and kicked out of the monasteries, and he became a wandering yogin, and he reached enlightenment. So, this is just one example of how somebody's path can change from something that they thought was the right place for them. Like, Varupa thought that being in the monasteries, that would allow him to reach enlightenment, but that doesn't have to be the case. It can change. And it can change for the better and lead you to where you want to go. And kind of something before you begin this journey is samsaric reality, which is kind of this imaginary nature. It's an illusory projection of our hopes and our fears. And this is kind of just what we think before we reach enlightenment, before we begin this journey. It has no substance or truth, but it's just your projections onto the world, what you currently believe, these preconceived projections that you are putting out onto everything that you do. So I have this friend who they've just kind of been struggling with chemistry and math, and they don't think that they can do it. They've just been getting really down on themselves, saying they can't do it, they're not smart enough, and so they've resorted to wanting to drop out of the class entirely. But I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen them succeed, and so I know that the truth is that they can do this. They're capable. And so I told them, I said, you're projecting these ideas of you can't do this, and that's making you actually believe that you're not capable of succeeding. And I don't know if they actually understood. They were just kind of like, oh, okay. But it's just something that through taking this class, I've been able to see more, and I've become more aware of, when people's egos and their ideas of what they believe to be true, they kind of cloud the actual reality. And that's just an example of how this class has kind of changed my perspective, changed the way I think of things and kind of observe what's going on. And obviously, being able to see the world for what it actually is and see everything the way that see everything for its truth, that's a long journey, and it takes a long time and a lot of practice and dedication. And I'm not a Buddhist, but I believe that seeing things for what they truly are will help people understand the world that we live in. Thanks.